Hello, this is your first lesson in editing. The program we use is Movie Studio Platinum. You can look for the icon on the desktop, or you can type in the bottom here, Movie Studio Platinum, and find it. This is 14.0, version 14.0. I'm going to double click on it. You can see the program booting up. And here's my, here's the first thing I'm going to see. And then your workspace comes up. The first thing it asks you in the welcome window is, do you want to open a new project? Do you want show me how tutorials? Or do you want to start using Movie Studio Platinum? Let's say we're going to create a new project. So I'm going to click on New. It's going to ask me what kind of video format I want to use. AVCHD is fine for now, and 1920 by 1080, 24 pixels is high definition, and that's fine. I'm going to type this in. The name is going to be Editing Class 1. You see where I'm typing that in there, and then I'm going to click on OK. And it brings me to my blank palette here. And you can see the default it gives me is, what I've got here is I've got a timeline. And it's at the top, it's delineated in seconds. This is 15 seconds, this is 30, 45, etc. And when I'm laying video down, I'm going to lay it down on tracks. And each one of these horizontal sections is a track. As a default, it gives you a text track right here, the top one. It gives you a video track, the second one. It gives you an audio track. And what usually happens is if you lay video down on this video track, it will automatically lay down the audio attached to that video. It'll lay it down on this track right here. You have a separate audio track for music at the bottom. Now, what we do a lot of green screen stuff in here, and in order to use the Chroma Keyer or green screen effect, we have to have two video tracks. The top track is our talent who are talking in front of the green screen, and the track below, the second video track, is what we want to show through the green screen when we wipe out all the green. So I'm going to have to add a video track first. If I ever want to add a video track, all I do is go to a video track. We've got one here. I'm going to see my cursor in the blank space here on the left. I'm going to right click on that, and it's going to allow me to insert video track, and that's what I'm going to do. Now what it'll do is it'll throw that video track up top here, and that's fine. You've got two video tracks, this one and this one. Because this one is labeled video, I'm going to click on it, drag it up, and drop it right above so that my two video tracks are right here, but my top video track is labeled video. I just do that to keep myself from getting confused. Now, first thing I want to do is get some content and lay it down on the video. So, excuse me, on the timeline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hear this file icon. You see the file icon? File Explorer. I'm going to click on that, and that leads me to all of my content. This is every file on the entire computer. I have to find the video I want. So I'm going to look on this PC and see what kind of videos I have, and there's several in here. I'm going to take this one because it has green screen. I'm going to click, drag, and drop it down on the video track. Now I'm going to click, drag, and pull it up to the top video track like this. And you'll notice it automatically dropped my audio attached to it down here on this audio track. Now, this green screen here, we want to take out all this green right here so that we can put a fancy background in the back. So I'm going to use the Chroma Keyer effect. There are two icons here. One is the event pan crop on this individual video piece right here. The other is FX, which is event effects. So I'm going to click on event effects. I'm going to find Vegas Chroma Keyer. There it is right there. I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to click OK. And here's my Chroma Key workspace. You'll notice I've got this entire video here highlighted. So this special effect is only going to apply to this video. It automatically defaults to blue. I do not want blue because I'm working with green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to the presets, default at blue. I'm going to click on the down arrow and I'm going to click on green screen. When I do that, you can see up in my viewer window that the green disappears. So whatever I put in the background will show through. Now I need to, this is not finished yet, this effect. I'm going to have to balance it so that it looks good. Before I can really balance it though, I have to put a video down underneath. So what I'm going to do is go find some content. I can get a still picture, I can get a video, I can get anything I want. I think in this case, I'm going to take just some random background here. I'm going to take this right here and drop it down. This is a video. As you were, I'm not going to do that. I made a mistake. So what I'm going to do is go up here to the back arrow and click back and take that off. I'm going to go back to my content. I'm just going to find a picture. Let's do this Bengal tiger picture right here. We're going to drag and drop that down here on the timeline. I'm going to drag it over to underneath the video. I'm going to take that and see, now it puts it behind her. But you'll notice it's blending through. It's a little ghosty here. So what I want to do is balance it, and this is what I use to balance it. In my effects window, I've got a low threshold and a high threshold. You'll notice when I take the low threshold, click and drag it over, it sharpens the image in the back. So the low threshold is whatever the background is. The high threshold is the foreground. So when I pull that over and adjust it, now I've got a nice balance between the two pictures. You can also use a blur if you're if the contrast is too stark between your foreground and your background, you can blur it a little bit. In this particular case, our lighting that we used with Claire, our subject here, was pretty good over here. We controlled it in the classroom, so we don't have to worry about it so much. It's nice and it blends in nicely. So we're just going to balance it. And you can see here when we go to the beginning and look at it, that it looks very nice. And it plays the video. Now, a word here about this preview box. This is your preview box. To make it bigger or smaller, you catch it right here. See how the cursor changes to two parallel lines? You can click, grab that, and pull it down, and you can see if you want to preview the thing and you want a nice big clear picture, you can do it that way. If you want to make it smaller so that your timeline is bigger, you can drag it and drop it all the way up top. You can make it completely wipe out if you want to. And this allows me to see all my tracks at once. Now let's suppose I want to cut a little piece out of the middle of here. Claire made a mistake in her video. This is what I can do. I can highlight the spot where the bad part of the video begins, and I go down here and I've got three icons I use. I've got split, I've got trim end, and I have trim start. These are what I use to cut out pieces of video, to cut out the end of the video or cut out a chunk in the middle. So I'm going to hit split, and it splits it right there where my cursor is. I'm going to move my cursor over here to the end of my bad spot. I can do a couple of things. I can hit split and split it right there, and then I can highlight that chunk in the middle. I can hit the delete button on the keyboard and then pull these two together, and then it will play seamlessly between the two, and it'll take out my bad part and leave the good part, just like that. Now, if I mess up, all I got to do up here is go to my undo arrow, and it goes step by step back what I did, and I can undo it. Now, I can use these trim end and trim beginning icons as well. I can go here and split. I can go to the end like this, and I've got two pieces of video here, so I can trim the beginning of this by hitting the trim start, and it just takes that chunk out. I don't have to use the delete button on the keyboard or anything, and then I'm pulling them together. Let's go back using the back arrow. Or if I want to trim the end of this video, a little piece of it where maybe before you turn the video off, you said, hey, good job, you want to take that part off. You highlight the part you want to take off, and you hit trim end, and it just takes that chunk out. You can also go to the end and let the icon turn into the trim event end. You can click and hold it down, and you can pull it over like this. You can also go back the way it was by pulling it out like that. But I want to keep it this way. Now let's say I gave her a countdown, 3, 2, 1, go. And I want to take out the 3, 2, 1, go that I videotaped. So I'm going to go to the part where I said 3, 2, 1, go. I'm going to click on trim beginning. And then I can take this and drag it over. And then I can highlight this and trim end. And they match up like that. So that's your first lesson in editing videos.